Hello everyone, this is Tiffany and I am here to share the highly anticipated glitter collection with everyone. So before I even start the glitter collection, I'm going to do a little bit of fixing of her skin. And so I'm going to click on my background layer and I'm going to hit Command J to make a new layer. And I'm going to grab my spot healing brush, and she has this, I don't know, it looks like a scratch. And then she has pieces of glitter up in her hair because prior to this we were throwing glitter. So I think I'm going to leave those hairs for now. I might run a frequency separation and work on some of these, but I'm just zooming in and clearing up all of the different spots that we have. So as you can see, she was just about to start blowing some glitter here. Here's a little piece. I'm just going to go through here. And this I am going to fix with some frequency separation. All right. I'm okay with that. Think that that's pretty good. Grabbing a couple of these hairs and just going over them. All right. Okay, so I think I'm pretty good with this. I don't know what is going on with her arms here, but this is a straight out of camera. I'm just going to leave it for now. And I will try to blend that in with some frequency separation. Okay, so I have that. I've just cleaned up, if I turn that off and on, some of those areas. I'm going to flatten that down. And then I want her to have very smooth skin for this. So I'm going to go to our Bold collection and I am going to play our airbrushed skin action. And then click on the black mask, grab a white brush, and I'm at 95%. I'm going to drop this down because this is very strong. So I'm going to drop this down and I'm just going to start painting. If you want it stronger, you can keep it at 100%, and it's also at 65% opacity here. So you could make it 100% and 100% and make it really strong. I want to preserve some of her little freckles, but still soften her skin. So I'm running under these under eyes, and we'll work on those as well. So I'm going to hit the backslash key just to see. And I definitely missed some areas. I don't want to grab her eyes at all. This is already out of focus because I was shooting, I think, at like a 2.4. So I'm just going to run over her arm. Oh, I missed this bruise right here. I'm going to have to get that too. All right, so if I turn this, I'm going to zoom out. If I turn this off and on, you can see that this action really, really smoothes our skin. So I'm going to back that off. And this is a good start for me. So I'm going to stay here. And then this is one of my favorite actions that we have when I have like the brown, the gold, and you really want those tones to stand out. So I'm actually going to run this right away. We do have some similar type actions in our glitter package, but this one is my favorite. So I'll run them in the glitter package as well, but off and on. You can see what that does, how it just makes her pop off the screen. I am going to just drop it a tad. I'm going to click on the white and grab a black mask, and I'm going to paint that over her eyes. I'm at 50% and around here because it's already a little dark for me, and just take a little bit of that off. All right, so I can grab a snapshot here and we can look where we have come just from a little skin smoothing and running that bold action. Makes a huge difference. So I am going to flatten this down. You don't have to. You don't have to flatten. That's one of the great things about the actions, but I am going to flatten it down. And I'm going to do, these are quick actions. I'm going to do some frequency separation. So I'm going to run, we have a quick frequency separation, and then we have an 16-bit and 8-bit. I'm going to run the 16-bit and hit continue. I'm going to leave it at 5. I've already done smoothing. And then I'm going to add the non-destructive layers and hit play. So we can close it down, we can open it up. We have a texture and we have a blur. Whitney is putting together a free video for everyone on frequency separation that may get into it a little bit more of the how-tos, but I'm going to start and just use it, not really going through the how-tos or the whys. So when we click on the texture, we automatically get the clone tool selected, and I'm going to zoom in, and this is where you hit your option key and click, and it is going to see it's repeated this texture here. I like to use this to get rid of some of the hairs. Give an eyebrow wax. You can, I'm going to go through here. I'm not sure how it's going to do with these hairs. Looks pretty good actually. So I'm just clicking my option. Hitting option and clicking down. Hitting option and clicking down. So these are a little bit trickier because now we have hairs that are coming from nowhere. I'm going to hit Command Z there. I'm going to click from over here and go up just to get rid of this hair. I'm again just clicking with my option key and running over this, trying to get rid of some of these hairs. Clicking on the hair and going through there. All right. Okay. We've got a couple hairs left I want to deal with. So if I turn that off and on, you can see how those have disappeared. I can zoom in and turn it off and on and show you what that's done. I am going to grab up here. I thought that was an eyebrow, but it's not. Okay, so then I'm going to make a larger brush, the same thing over here, and get rid of just some of these flyaway hairs. Woo, that's a little bit too far in. I'm actually okay with this because we're going to add. All right, I'm good with that. And then I'm just going to take away these little hairs down here. That is going to smooth out her skin. All right. So I'm just zooming in to see if there's anything else that I see. And that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to see. I'm going to run this here. I have no idea what this line is. Like I said, this showed up straight out of camera, but I'm just clicking and running this down, and it's going to take this line away. All right, so that's taken that away. Her elbows are really dry. We're in Wisconsin. It's been miserable. In fact, my kids are home right now on a snow day. We're supposed to get like 16 inches of snow in the next 2 days, which I see these pictures, or these posts from people posting pictures of their kids in the south. It's 78 degrees, and I'm so envious. All right, so that's the texture. If I turn that off and on, we can see what we've done there. Now we're going to work with the color. So I'm going to click on this, and you can do one of two things. You can use the mixer brush tool, or you can use the brush tool and go back and forth. I'm going to start with the mixer brush tool, and I'm at a flow of 9. I'm going to up that just a tad. All right, and then I'm going to, this is hair, but it looks really dark, so I am going to just push up. She has all these baby hairs, which I always tell her, lucky you, your hair are still growing, getting thicker, because we don't have very thick hair. So if I turn that off and on, you can see that that's just, I'm just trying to even out the colors there. And now we're going to look in her under eyes. I'm just doing the same thing. I'm grabbing color from down here and I'm mixing it up. She has very dark circles under her eyes, so we may have to use one of our actions from the skin package to even that out as well. Or come back through at the end with our quick frequency separation, or even a curves layer. There's many different things that we can do. So again, I'm just grabbing color and moving it up. She's got some gray, which we have a really great remove gray in our skin package that I might go and grab for right here. A little bit of gray there as well. This is a shadow, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to leave that. I also need to fix this bruise down here. All right, so now if I turn this off and on, you can see where we fixed some of the inconsistencies. Whoa, again, sorry. So if I collapse this and look at my frequency separation, if I turn it off and back on, you can see what that has done to her face. Okay, so I'm going to go to the glitter collection. I'm going to flatten this down, and I am going to actually, before I do that, I am going to hit select and subject. Whitney messaged me. There are like, it's insane the amount of overlays, like 81 overlays in this package, some of which are real glitter. So we took pictures with real glitter and have used them. So I'm going to grab my lasso, or my selection tool, not my lasso, and I'm going to click the plus because I just want this to come out a little bit more. I'm going to grab the minus, bring it in right here. I don't know if I want that's okay. I'm okay with these little hairs up here because what I'm going to do is put one of our overlays in here. So I'm going to hit Command J, and now she's up here on a layer on her own, and I'm going to click on background. I'm going to hit File and Place Embedded. And then I am going to go to my downloads, which you will do the same, and you will find the glitter collection. So I'm looking for my T. All right, and I'm going to go to overlays. So we have the alphabet, which I can show you now, and I'm not going to use any of these, but capital and lowercase letters. So if I wanted to write like Kinley, or it's a boy, or it's a girl, or Merry Christmas, whatever, all of these are here. So this is something extra that Whitney just threw in, which is incredible because for the price of this package, I feel like I bought these on, Etsy or other places for that amount. Then we have bokeh, which we will get to. These are all real glitter. So my biggest peeve is when I look for bokeh and I look for glitter overlays, they never look real. So these bottom two are not real. These are fun ones that Whitney created. But I told Whitney I want to do something where they look real, or I don't want to do it. So here's gold. This is a different confetti overlays. And then we have the glitter. So we have all of these different glitter. So we have blowing glitter and blowing glitter 2. These are ones that Whitney came up with. And then I want not falling confetti. I'm trying to find the one that I'd used in the original picture just to show you a fun way of using it. Oh, here it is. It's glitter flare. It's down here. Sorry. Now you get a preview of all the fun glitters. Okay, so I'm going to hit place. And because I am underneath, it's not going to put it on my subject. but I really should have hit a Command J, so we'll see. This is probably going to put this right on our background layer. Oh, never mind. It's going to do this for us. Okay, so I'm going to pull this down. And as you can see, because she's on her own layer, we have this glitter flare and it stays behind her. Now right here, where I did that, I should not have, because now that's looking funny. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the blending mode to screen. And now we don't see it as much. You can play with this. You can make it soft light. That does not look good. You can do whatever. For me, when the background is black like this, screen works best, but you can play with that. So I'm going to click on it, and it says it's transforming. And that's taken away a lot of those like flyaway hairs, and turn that off and on. It's just something fun. It adds. I am going to drop the opacity a tad. All right, so I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to flatten her down because I like that for the background. And then I am going to hit Command J, and I'm going to go again, File, Place Embedded, and I am going to grab some bokeh. So I'm going to go back to the glitter collection. We've got, and go to overlays and go to bokeh. So I'm going to find some bokeh that I can put kind of down below, because when we did this and she was actually blowing glitter, this is what it looked like. So I'm going to, you can make this bigger, you can make it smaller. This is not the same one I used in the original. And again, I'm going to turn this to screen. And I'm just going to play with this, the size, the placement, and I may not even use this one. I'm going to leave that there. See, it's cut off down here, and that looks weird, so I'm going to hit Command Z, and I'm going to choose a different one. File, Place Embedded, and go back to the bokeh and see what I can find. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to turn this to screen, and I'm going to move this down here, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to hit enter. Then I can put a layer mask on this and then grab a black brush, and I'm at 100% opacity, and I'm going to just take this one and this one away. Now, if I want to change the color of this bokeh, I can do layer, new fill layer, solid color, and hit OK. And I can choose any color. I'm actually going to hit cancel, and I'm going to grab a color from the background here. What color do we like? I'm going to grab this color. Okay. I'm going to come back up here and do layer, new fill layer, and solid color. Hit OK. And then I am going to hit my option, and you see the little black arrow shows up, and click. So that has clipped this now to this layer. The only place that we're finding it is here, but I need to change the blending mode. So you can see my bokeh changing, and I am going to change it to soft light. So now it's taken it from like the light gold to a more yellow. So if I drop that opacity a little bit, and if I don't like the color, I can go in here if I want it brighter and just click around, and it changes my glitter. So I'm going to go here actually and hit OK. So now I can do the same thing. If I click on this, I can click here and hit Shift and click, and then Command G to group those two together. And then I'm going to hit Command J. So now it's the same bokeh on top of here. So if I hit Command T to transform that, I can move it over to the other side. And then I can put it any way I want, make it any size I want. And I can hit enter, and then I'm going to do the same thing, Command J. I can grab my move tool if I want, and whoop, Command T. Get in there. Command T, and I'm going to move some of it over to the front here, but not as much. All right, I am going to drop the opacity on this one, and then if I click on this and then hit my Shift key and click here and hit Command G, now all of them are in a group. So I have this kind of like bokeh overlay, like she's blowing glitter here as well, like the glitter's falling down. So now I am going to flatten this down, and I am going to go to my glitter collection, hit the arrow and open it up, go all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to hit run them all. So this is going to, just like our bold collection, so many of our other collections, it's going to run everything, and then you can turn it on or off. So don't be like me. When Whitney sent me this, I'm like, is there something wrong with this? And she said, did you read it? Or did you just click continue? And I'm like, I just click continue. The English teacher that I used to be, and always telling kids to proofread, and I'm the total skimmer. So double click on the yellow gradient fill layer, which is right down here, named Glitter Sun, not the white mask. So Glitter Sun, we don't want the white mask, we want the gradient. While the gradient fill dialog box is open, drag the sun to where you would like it on your image. Once in its position, click OK. Press continue. So I'm going to hit continue. I am going to double click on this, and I have to hit OK. Sorry, I got to turn it on. I'm going to double click on this, and I am going to move this to where I want it. So if I had like sun coming from over here, I could move it over here or down, or I mean, if it was a picture and your subject was down here and you wanted to add light in the background, this is a very, very up close portrait. And I already added in the background there. So I'm just going to click OK here, and I'm going to turn this off. I don't need added light. I've already done that with this overlay that I put in the background, but just for you to use. So glitter background. This is for you to use the brushes. So this is the color. If you don't like it, you can switch it, but you click on the black, and I'm going to go to brushes. I'm going to grab my brush, and I am going to go all the way down and find, we have eyelashes coming, by the way. Well, where are my glitter brushes? All right, here they all are. So we have all kinds of glitter brushes, and you can take a look, and Whitney has made them in a way that they shine. So these are really cool, like the confetti pieces. The way in which they're made, they have this shine to them. You can do big pieces of, oh, sorry, we got to be on the black masks. Big pieces of bokeh. If I wanted it smaller, can do that. I'm just hitting Command Z. So something that you'll want to do when you have these is you want to click on shape dynamics, and then actually click on shape dynamics. So you're on brush settings, and you want to turn the size jitter up to like 50% and the angle jitter. And you also want to click on scattering, and then you want to bring the scatter up. Okay, so shape dynamics and scattering. And I'm just using my bracket keys to make this larger and smaller, and then clicking. So as you can see, once I click, it changes the shape and the size. And you can play with that, but that's just to repeat, to avoid repeating patterns. So I'm just hitting Command Z on here. And again, if I don't like the color, I can. So I'm going to go back to brushes, and I'm going to go back to brush tip shape, and I'm going to take a look at this brush, a big star. So we have all kinds of brushes that you can use. Here's some little glitters. So let's say, I'm going to hit Command Z. you want to add little glitters right here that she's blowing, you can do that with one of our overlays or with a brush. So I'm going to start with the overlays, but if I need to, I'm going to come back in with the brush. We have tiny little single pieces of glitter, but you can make it larger and smaller. Okay, I'm going to hit Command Z here to get rid of all of these. Going back down. Here's more glitters, making it's moving. They're getting different sizes. We're going to hit Command Z again to get rid of them. So if you would like to change the color, so I'm going to put a couple of these here like she's blowing glitter. And I'm like, I'm not really feeling that. I can double click on here. Oh, and hit OK. And why is it not letting me change it? On the wrong part. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command Z. Get rid of all of these. I got to look at that. Okay, so those are the brushes. If you want to use the brushes, and that's what you have glitter background for this color. If you don't want to use glitter background and you want to make your own, that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to move my brushes in, and I'm going to go back and grab my soft round. And now we're going to look at some of the actions. So we have glitter ice. And see what that does to the whole image. It's going to cool it off. So I chose very golden, rich tones, but maybe you use silver glitter and have a lighter color paper and you want to do more cool tones in bright and airy. That is what you can click. So if you click on here, maybe it's too bright and you bring it down and you don't want it on their skin. So I'm going to grab a black brush at 50% and I'm going to take it off of her. All right, I have to go back to my brushes and my brush setting. I need to turn off my scattering because I don't want to scatter this. All right. And shape dynamics is off. Okay, so now it's better. And I can just take that off of her, but it stays on the background, or vice versa. Maybe you want to just cool down her skin. So I'm not going to use that one because I don't want an icy. I want a deeper, rich color toning. All right, glitter sensation. Click. So this is adding a significant amount of warmth, but I really like it. It's at 100%. I'm going to bring that way down, off and on. So that's toning my image and giving me the warmth that I want. I am going to, at 100%, take this off of her eyeballs. Okay. And I'm going to tap on her lips. Glitter color. So that's going to give us some brightness, which I really like as well. So I'm going to bring that down, turning it off and back on. And I'm going to leave that at 13% on the whole image. Glitter bright. So if I turn this on, it brightens it, makes it very, very yellow. I don't know if I'm going to leave that one off for right now. And then we have glitter highlights 2 and glitter highlights 1. So glitter highlights 2, I'm going to click on it. And if you off, here, let me move this in. Oh, that was an accident. Just trying to zoom in for you. Watch the entire image. Off and on, off and on. It takes the highlights of the entire image and brightens them. I'm going to turn this off. Glitter highlights 1, on and off. Here it's just taking your brightest highlights, so like my skin, and it's really going to pull those out. So I want that to happen here, on and off. So you can just see, like, if you watch right in through here, what that's doing. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to turn this one back on, and I'm going to leave that one off. Glitter skin. It's already turned on. It's a black mask. If you click on the black mask and grab a white brush, I'm going to go at 40%. This is a skin smoothing and brightening action that is exclusive to our glitter collection. So as you can see, it is warming. So if I turn this off and on, it is brightening and warming our skin. I'm going to bring this way down because I was liking where my skin was because I worked on skin smoothing ahead of time. But I do like that warmth, so I'll keep a little bit. All right, glitter spin. We have light, medium, and heavy. And glitter spin is going to be giving you that spin or radial blur effect on the outside. So you simply click, that would be light, turning it off, medium, turning it off, and high. So I am going to leave it on high, and I'm going to wait. Okay, so I am going to add in some overlays now to make it look like she's blowing glitter, and then I will do the spin. So I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded, and I am going to go back to Overlays because I don't want the bokeh, I want the glitter overlays. Glitter 6 is one of my favorite. Whitney did such a nice job on these. So I'm going to hit Place, and I'm going to turn it to screen so I can see what it would look like. And I'm going to place this over here. So if I want to make it bigger, smaller, whatever, but look at this. Look at how real this I mean, it is real glitter. And like I said, this makes me so happy because I have struggled so much in the past to find glitter overlays. And so some people are concerned, it's not safe. I've done it a few times with my daughter. She has an absolute blast with real glitter. We've never had any issues, but if you feel uncomfortable, well, then this would be something that you could do. I don't like that big bright one right there. So that's kind of cool. Like I had a really great shot of her blowing actual glitter and it flew up into her face and kind of went over her eyes. So I want to leave some of these, but not all of them because I do want to see her face. I'm going to drop the opacity a tad, and I'm happy with the color actually, so I'm going to leave that for now. So the great thing is this I love the look, and we have already added this little extra bokeh like she's blowing it. But if I want to add more, I just go to File, Place Embedded, and I can look for more. So there's so many different glitter overlays that you can choose from that, again, they're all real. So these are ones that Whitney added a little bit to. I'm trying to find the one that I used. So like something like this one, you may not, if I hit place, it's like, wow. And if I put it onto screen, it's still like, woo, that's bright. But this would be absolutely beautiful in a sun. So if I had a sun back here and wanted to enhance that sun, how gorgeous would that be? And I could play with the color. I could play with the opacity. I'm going to hit delete because I don't want that. And I'm going to go to Place Embedded again. And I'm going to grab one of these finer glitters. I think it was glitter 10 that I originally used. I don't know. And I'm going to turn this to screen. And I'm going to make this smaller. Because when you blow actual glitter, you get like these tiny little particles. And then depending on the f-stop that you have, typically these come closer to you are larger and more blurred. So I want to still have that glitter concentration here. And then it does change colors as it goes. So if I turn the glitter 10 off and on, it kind of just adds in the glitter, the concentrated glitter. Now, if I don't want it down here, I can just add a layer mask, click on it, the white, grab a black brush, and I'm going to put it at, ooh, that was an accident. Sorry about that. Let's go back here. Okay. Put it at like 40% and do one click, and it took some of that away. So now I've added in the blowing glitter. If I wanted to add even more, you just do the same thing, Place Embedded, and I could grab, what else do we got here? This one's really pretty. But this one is more, it's real glitter, but it took on a different color. I'm going to go to, not lighten, which I guess that looks nice too. So if you play with, if I go to soft light, yeah, it's going to make it. But if I go to lighten, here's screen, here's lighten. So that one, that blending mode would work as well. And now I've got a little silver, and that kind of plays off of her dress too, because we have the silver and the gold. So if I turn this one off and on, that's added in another layer. And if I wanted to change the color, I can click on that and I can grab a color from here. I'm just going to click layer, new fill layer, solid color, hit OK, hit OK. And then I am going to hit option and click that to the glitter 8. So now it's only on this, but now I need to change the blending mode. I'm going to change it to soft light. So that has taken that silver glitter and changed it. So you can change the color to whatever you want. You can double click on here and I can move around and change it to whatever I want. Okay. So I don't know where I was. I think somewhere around in here. And I'm going to hit OK, but I'm actually going to drop that opacity because I kind of liked the silver coming through a little bit. Okay. Turn that off and on. So now we have all of this. I am going to go to heavy spin and turn that on. Now, this looks silly. We never want it to look, we want it to look kind of like there's a blur around the edge. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the white, have a black brush, and I'm going to make it at 100%. And I'm going to take it off 100% of all the areas that I don't want any blur or spin. Okay, so I'm just tracing around. I want her really in focus. Her arms, the glitter she's blowing, and the majority of her hair. Okay, so turn that off and on. You can see what that has done. Now, I'm missing a little spot here I can see on the mask. Now, this is not what I'm going for. I want a more natural look, so I am going to drop this opacity way down. Let's see, 11%. And now if I turn it on, if you watch down here, off and on. And I think I can even up that a little bit more, turn it off and on. So the reason why I love using radial blurs is because it kind of gives that softness to the edges of an image and brings your focus into the center of the image. So I'm going to turn that off and on again. Okay, now it's just a little too strong. So I'm going to make it about 15. Okay, so I'm happy with the look of this. I'm going to move this to like 20% and just click on this glitter a little bit. Okay. So I'm happy with the look of this. Now I am going to flatten this down, hit OK, and I can grab another snapshot for you. So here is where we started. This is with some skin smoothing and frequency separation. And here's the glitter collection. Okay. Oh, and I had bold on here as well. I'm still not done. I could be done, but I'm not. I want to do more with her hair and her eyes. So I am now going to close my glitter collection and I am going to go to our ultimate workflow and hit play. So I'm going to go through this quickly. And if you wanted to be done, like I said, you could. I just really want to make her eyes pop. So I'm going to go down to retouch and I'm going to go to cheeks, lips, and teeth. So the first thing I'm going to do is go down to teeth, our cheeks. We have this color. We click on the black mask and with a white brush, I am going to bring it to 100%. I am going to just tap on her cheeks here. So I don't want this color. I want more of a pink color. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm actually going to turn this to, I'm not sure yet. I got to see what I want. I might leave it at normal. So I'm just seeing what each of these does. I'm going to leave it at normal. Turn that off and on. Okay, so that's bringing some pink into her cheeks. Now I'm going to click here for her lips, and I'm going to zoom way in. And she has real glitter on her lips, this chunky glitter that we bought. And I'm just going to paint over her lips to give them some color. And then I'm going to click all over glow. It is glitter. I am going to go a little crazy on this one because why not? It's glitter. I'm just dabbing areas where I want them to glow. All right, and then if I turn the glow off and on, you can see what that's done. I am going to drop this opacity a tad. Okay, so that's just adding cheeks and lips, seeing what that's done. I'm going to turn that on and go to the eye retouch. So if you've watched any of my other tutorials, you know that I don't use all of these for Kinley. For other subjects, I may. Okay, so I am going to put this at like 70%, and I'm going to click and click. And then that's just brightening everything up. These are for the catch lights in her eyes. I am going to, do you see that glitter? Look at all the pieces of glitter. Isn't that cool? I am going to make this small, paint over here. And then these are actually, I have two little egress windows. All right, paint over this. I don't use iris contrast on her. You can on yours if you want. I am going to paint on here for eye whiten. You can see the veins here, so I want to whiten up her eyes a little bit. And then I'm also going to do brighten the eye whites because I want her to have very bright eyes that stick out. But I don't want her to look like an alien. So super white eyes and super white teeth are sometimes, always not a great thing. I am going to drop that down a tad, and I may do it at the end as well. I also don't use Boost Iris Color. I use Adjust Eye Color instead, and I am going to, and again, I'm at 68% here. You can be at whatever percent you want. Now, crazy, if I zoom out, like this is crazy. So I love this one. You can double click here, and you can make her eyes any color you want. She has a lot of different colors. If I turn this off, you can see she's got the browns and the greens and the blues. I mean, dark brown, yellow, she's got it all. So I'm going to turn it back on. And this edit, typically I add in cyan, green, and blue. In this edit, I'm going to do the exact opposite. I want them like honey is what I envision. I'm going to take out some of that magenta. I want her eyes to look like honey. So I am going to drop the opacity, zoom out. If you have brown eyes, adding red will add to that, turning it off and on. So you can see, I need to drop that even more. And then let me check her limbal ring. I am going to darken that a little bit as well. So I'm just going to run that along the edge. Okay, and lastly, sharpen the eye. So these are great. They're already all turned on. All you need to do is have a white brush on the black mask, and that's what's going to run each of these. All right, so I'm going to collapse eye retouch and turn that off and on. Our eye actions are the best. I said what I said. I have tried so many, and these are such a time saver. I used to do every single one of these things on my own. I will die on this hill. They are the best. All right, so the next thing I want to do is hair. And I want to give her hair that really soft and painterly feel. So I'm at a 68%. I'm just leaving it where it was. And I'm going to run this on her hair. I'm just going to click here. Now I got to zoom in because I want to make sure I did not see here what this looks like. We don't want that on her skin because then it's going to make her skin look like that. Now this to me does not look good. It does not look natural. I want them to look soft and maybe not, 100% natural, like my hair doesn't look like that, but I want it to look painterly. So that's what I'm doing. This right here is a piece of hair that folded over, and that's really bugging me. So I will see about that. And then I'm going to also add some hair shine, especially right here. And I'm going to drop that opacity as well. Turn that off and on. So the edit itself is so bright, I'm okay with adding that to her hair. So if I turn the hair off and on, you can see what that has done. Dodge, burn, and glow. Yes, I want to do this. I want to add dodging and burning because this is going to add definition to her. So I'm going to leave this rather high. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it down. So it's at 13, and now I'm going to bring it to like 5, but I'm going to drop the opacity over here as well. All right. So I am just going over areas that we need to brighten. You don't want to see the line. I'm going to click here, click here, click down in here. I mean, look at all these sparkles. Talk about the perfect dress, right? Okay, so if I turn my dodging off and on, and then I'm going to drop it. And then I'm going to go to burn, and I'm going to drop this down to like a 3. I'm going to burn, not with a pen. Again, I'm just using my bracket keys, left and right, to make my brush larger and smaller. We've got all kinds of shadows here. I'm not even going to attempt to get rid of that. I'm okay with it. Going on the outside of her arms. Going in the pleats here. Turning the burning off and on. And then I'm going to go to glow. And these are the areas that you really want to pop. So I'm going on the inside of her eyes. I'm going here and on her lips. And then I'm just going to paint over her lips. I'm going to just do the little tips of her fingers too, because we were getting the light there. So if I turn dodge and burn off and on, it just adds a little extra dimension to her. I'm going to drop the overall opacity of that. The dodge is a little bright for me. So overall, this is my retouching. I can turn that off and on. And you can see, I can grab a snapshot, what that does. Now, color toning, I'm just going to grab a couple of these, and I have other videos on this that you can watch for free. But I'm going to do overall color toning. And I'm going to leave it at what it's at. If you want to learn about more how to do this, you can watch some of my other videos. Autumn, I'm going to click here. I usually love autumn on the skin. I'm going to click on the white, hit Command I to invert that. And with a white brush, I'm going to put the flow at 67 is good. I'm going to paint this onto her skin. Grab a black brush at 100%. And I want that off her eyes. Okay, so that has really given her skin that autumn tan feel. I'm going to click on summer. This is very similar, and I go ahead and click on summer to some of our glitter actions, but it's just giving a little bit extra. I love the brightness. I'm going to click on here, hit Command I, and make a huge brush, and I want the brush to be white. And I'm just going to click so that it's just applied to her. Beautiful color is going to brighten everything up. Moody, I'm going to click on Moody. You can see what that's done. And I'm going to leave a little bit of that moodiness off and on. So it's just a little change. Sometimes I need to be zoomed out. So color toning is something that you can totally play with. And then I am going to do golden contrast at a lower opacity. All right, so off and on, that's what my color toning has done. I am going to drop this opacity a little bit, go to our final touches, and we have vignettes. We have this color pop, which you can paint. I like to paint on the background in colors. I am going to hit reduce orange and paint that. So I'm clicking on the white mask and hitting Command or Control I to invert. And I am going to paint that on her skin at 100% because of all of the color toning that we've done. A lot of it has been very orange. Same with reduce magenta. You may not really notice it, Command I, until you do this, but there was a lot of magenta and orange in her skin. Off and on, you can see off and on what that's done. I'm going to leave this off. I am going to click add contrast, click on the white mask and hit Command I to invert. And with a white brush, I'm going to paint that on her skin. And now I can turn my final touches off and on. So you can see what that has done. Now I'm going to do layer, new layer, and hit OK. So I have a fresh layer, and I am going to go to my brushes, and I'm going to grab some eyelashes. And I am going to put them, I don't want my eyelashes to be brown. I usually choose in between, choose a dark brown. In between the orange and the red, pick a dark brown. Zoom way in on her. Look at that. And click. And then I'm going to go to the other one. Like I said, we have some eyelash brushes coming. It's next on our list. We actually have some really cool things coming, but I don't know that I can tell yet. All right, and then I'm going to grab some bottom lashes and do the same thing very quickly here. If you've watched my edits before, you've heard me say this before. I almost always add lashes to my subjects. I feel that it really opens their eyes. I feel like these are very natural. And then I'm going to do File, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And I'm going to put it at like a 0.2, just to blur them a little bit, to make them even a little bit more natural, so that they're not, it's just a little bit. And then I'm going to drop the opacity a tad. If I turn those off and on, you can see I haven't even added really length, just a little more thickness and darkness to her eyes. Okay, so there are a couple other things I want to do. I'm going to do layer, new adjustment layer, and color balance. I'm going to add some magenta back in and hit Command I just to her cheeks. I'm going to click and click. Now, this looks crazy, right? So I am going to drop that opacity, and I want to drop it a little bit more. Okay, I am going to grab a snapshot, and we can look. Isn't that crazy? Here's where, this is our straight out of camera, and then this is after using our glitter package as well as our ultimate workflow. Our ultimate workflow is our most expensive package, if you want to call it that, but the amount that you get the color toning, you get the final touches, you get the retouch, like it's worth so much more. When Whitney and I were discussing prices, I was like $200. I mean, and those of you who have had it and have messaged us and said it's a game changer, it totally is. We settled on 50 because we want to keep our prices affordable. We want to be a teaching platform and a place that people can, have access to our items. But it is a game changer, and it's truly incredible what Whitney has come up with. So I'm going to flatten this down, hit OK, and I'm going to do a couple more things. I am going to go into our quick actions, and I am going to do some quick frequency separation. I'm just going to the blur and color layer, and I'm going to grab a mixer brush tool. And our under eye action is actually found in our skin package, which is amazing as well, which I didn't use on this one because I just used the softening one from the Bold. I'm just trying to lighten this up a little bit. But if I did open up our skin, I would use the reduced gray right here. You can watch the free videos we have on our skin action. Turn that off. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. Off and on. Okay, so I've just softened up under her eyes a little bit more, and I'm going to just drop that. And then I love, love, love our quick sharp action. I'm going to hit play. And that looks crunchy, right? Like, ooh, goodness, no one ever leave your image looking like this. But I am going to change this to soft light and turn this off and on. So that is adding, watch her eyes, especially in her cheeks and those little freckles. It is giving us, it's sharpening our image and giving us some of that texture back. I'm going to drop the opacity though, and I think I'm done. So I'm going to hit this and take a little snapshot, and I'm going to go back again. So started here, skin smoothing action, bold action, and frequency separation. Glitter package, ultimate workflow, adding in, what did we do here? I think this might have been a little bit more of the ultimate workflow. And then finally the quick actions at the end. So what a transformation. It always shocks me to see, like, I thought this was so beautiful, and it is, but just where you can take an image. So we will load this. The glitter collection is live right now, and I hope you all love it as much as we do. We really put a lot of time and effort and thought into all of our products, and Whitney and I spend a lot of time testing them on different images and making sure that they are perfect for you. But if you are ever having problems or questions or don't love something, we want you to reach out and let us know that as well. Or if you are like, hey, I'd love to have a whatever, throw it out there, because we're always looking for new things to make for you guys as well. All right, that is all I have for you. I hope you love this as much as we do. Thank you, everyone.